Welcome to the Gym Success Podcast, everyone. Whether you're a seasoned gym owner, a dedicated operator, maybe a manager, a savvy salesperson, a passionate gym entrepreneur, or a personal trainer striving for more, we are really thrilled to have you with us today. And hey, for all of you folks maybe looking to open a new gym or acquire one, or perhaps you just need some working capital, we can help provide funding options up to 500K. It's unsecured, and importantly, there are no restrictions on how you use it. Just check us out at fmconsulting.net. I'm Bonnie.
And I'm George.
And today we're diving into a really, really insightful white paper by Jim Thomas. He's a well-known expert in the gym business. Our mission today really is to distill those critical insights, get them into actionable strategies you can actually apply directly to your own journey in the fitness world.
Exactly. And this topic is just so vital for anyone connected to the gym business. Doesn't matter if you're sketching out your very first business plan or if you're a veteran operator looking to scale up efficiently. Our goal really is to uncover not just the common pitfalls, that we'll touch on those, but more importantly, to reveal those concrete, actionable insights Jim Thomas provides, to help you navigate the exciting, but let's be honest, challenging landscape of gym entrepreneurship.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this then. So many entrepreneurs start with such a clear picture, don't they? A vision for their successful gym. You see the packed classes, members hitting key Bs, that thriving community feel around their brand. It's a really powerful motivator. But Jim Thomas says there's like a silent killer lurking just beneath all that enthusiasm, something threatening that very vision before it even gets properly off the ground.
Yeah, the paper goes into this initial excitement, that incredible surge of energy you feel when you're launching a gym. It is an exhilarating venture, no doubt. But as Jim Thomas details really carefully, it's also kind of inherently one of the most stressful things you can do. And he pinpoints this core problem that often comes up: the trap of trying to do everything alone. I mean, think about it. As a gym entrepreneur, you wear so many hats, right? You're the salesperson, the marketer, the head trainer, the bookkeeper, the maintenance tech, and the visionary, of course. You're juggling all these roles, often at the same time, constantly.
What's really fascinating here, and Jim Thomas really underscores this, is how universal that feeling is. Having to do it all. It applies to entrepreneurs everywhere. We feel this like immense pressure to master every single part of the business. But while that hustle, the raw effort and dedication is absolutely necessary, especially at the start, Jim Thomas makes this critical distinction. Isolation is deadly. Hustle pushes you forward, yeah.
Exactly.
But isolation, it just pulls you down. It erodes that amazing vision you started with.
Right. And it doesn't just pull you down in a vague way.
Yeah.
Jim Thomas spends a good chunk of the paper outlining the specific, often kind of subtle ways isolation acts as these silent killers in a gym business. So let's dig into the first one he mentions: burnout. He explains that running a gym means juggling, like 1,000 details every single day. It really does. If you're always the first one in and the last one out, doing literally everything from, warmly onboarding new members to, sometimes even unclogging toilets on a busy Saturday morning, Jim Thomas basically suggests you are not just going to hit a wall, you're going to smash right into it. It's just not sustainable for long-term growth.
And this is where Jim Thomas really takes it a step further than just saying you'll get tired. He highlights that burnout doesn't just cost you personal energy. It has these broader, more insidious consequences that hit the business directly. He notes it clouds your judgment, makes it harder to make clear strategic decisions about everything: staffing, pricing, you name it. It can strain relationships, both personal and professional, because your focus just becomes so intensely inward and stressed out. And crucially for gym owners, it can lead to a dip in member engagement and retention. Your passion starts to wane. Maybe operational oversights creep in. This isn't just about feeling tired. It's about compromising the very foundation of your operations, your future direction. You might even see it in declining net promoter scores or unexpected staff turnover.
That's a really powerful link he draws, isn't it, between your own well-being and actual business metrics. Okay, so another silent killer the paper gets into is blind spots. Jim Thomas makes it really clear. No matter how skilled or experienced you are, you just can't see every single angle of your business. It's impossible. Maybe you're incredibly strong at sales, right? Signing up new members is easy for you. But the paper suggests that for a lot of fitness pros turned entrepreneurs, things like financial forecasting or lease negotiations, those become significant blind spots. Or you might be a fantastic trainer. Your members absolutely love you, but you lack the experience or maybe the confidence to navigate the complexities of commercial real estate.
And this brings up a really important question. How can you fix weaknesses you don't even know you have, or maybe areas you kind of actively avoid because they feel uncomfortable? Jim Thomas shows how these blind spots, if they're left unexposed, can quickly snowball into major setbacks. He points to examples where a gym owner's strength in, say, fitness instruction can paradoxically lead them to underestimate the need for solid financial modeling or, strategic marketing. It's like you're driving with a big part of your business windshield totally blacked out. Without that outside perspective to shine a light on these critical areas, the paper suggests, well, you're basically setting yourself up for trouble you could have avoided.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And this lack of external perspective, as Jim Thomas explores it, it means that decision making can get really emotional when you're isolated. When you're running everything yourself, every single decision just feels incredibly heavy, heavier than it should. Should you invest that big chunk of capital in new fancy equipment? Or should that budget go to a new marketing campaign? Is it time to expand your class schedule, which probably means hiring more staff? Or does the data actually suggest maybe scaling back a bit?
Yep. Exactly. Without peers to bounce ideas off, without that sort of objective sounding board, it's so easy to second guess yourself into just doing nothing. Paralysis. Or, on the flip side, Jim Thomas observes that isolation can lead to these reactive, often kind of fear-based moves, like impulsively slashing membership prices because the competitor opened up down the street. And these emotional, often knee-jerk decisions, as the paper implies, they tend to stall momentum rather than build it. Looking at the bigger picture strategically, emotional decisions often lead to just short-term fixes, right? They address symptoms, but they miss the underlying problems that need solving for long-term growth.
Okay, so if going it alone is this silent killer, what's the antidote Jim Thomas is proposing here? He says it's all about founder friends. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. The paper really digs into the specifics of what these founder friends bring to the table, what makes such a profound difference. Well, first up, the paper emphasizes the power of just shared experience and empathy. Jim Thomas highlights that only another gym owner truly understands the unique struggles you face daily. We're talking about that gnawing worry about hitting your monthly sales numbers, maybe, or losing sleep over a broken HVAC system right before the 6 a.m. class rush. These are specific high-stakes problems that just resonate deeply with someone who's walked in those exact same shoes.
Yeah. And what's truly powerful there, as Jim Thomas puts it, is the sheer validation that provides. When you share a struggle with someone who genuinely gets it, it's incredibly reassuring. It chips away at that sense of isolation. Founder friends, the paper notes, they offer solutions that are, quote, born from their own trenches.
Yeah.
So this isn't just generic business advice you could get anywhere. It carries a different weight, a more practical weight, because it comes from direct, often hard-won experience within your specific industry. It feels deeply empathetic, and it's usually immediately actionable.
Yeah, absolutely. And beyond just the empathy, the paper really hammers home how crucial constructal accountability becomes. I mean, let's be real. It's so easy for standards to slip when you're only accountable to yourself, right? We all have those moments where we kind of let ourselves off the hook for things we know we should be doing for the business, like consistently following up with leads or refining that member onboarding process.
Oh, absolutely. Having that circle of fellow gym entrepreneurs, it keeps you honest. Jim Thomas details how peers push you to actually track your KPIs, those key performance indicators, right? Things like member retention, lead conversion rates, average member value, the important stuff. They push you to stay consistent with your marketing efforts and, critically, to actually follow through on those growth strategies you mapped out maybe months ago. That external, peer-driven accountability, he suggests, it can literally be the difference between making excuses and making real, measurable progress. It's about having someone who, maybe calls you on your BS sometimes, but always with the genuine intention of helping you succeed.
Good point. And then there's accelerated learning. This one really hit home for me. Jim Thomas asks this question in the paper. Why reinvent the wheel? He argues that founder friends let you shortcut the often painful and frankly expensive trial and error process. Think about it. Instead of you wasting months, maybe thousands of dollars on a referral strategy that just isn't clicking, you can learn directly from someone who has already tested, refined, and successfully scaled their referral program for their gym. That's just an incredible time and resource saver. Jim Thomas shows how it leads to faster, much more efficient growth.
Right. It's truly about leveraging collective intelligence. Jim Thomas frames it almost as a strategic competitive advantage. In today's fast-moving fitness market, the ability to learn from other successes and failures is just immense. Why spend your own precious resources, your time, your money, making mistakes that someone else has already figured out and found a solution for? It's just a smarter, more strategic approach to problem solving, to innovation, and ultimately to building a stronger, more profitable gym.
And finally, the paper highlights how founder friends provide just crucial emotional support during setbacks. Because let's be real, every entrepreneur faces setbacks. It's just part of the game. Whether it's slower than expected growth, maybe some tough new competition eating into your market share, or just unexpected financial hiccups. These challenges are, well, they're pretty much inevitable on the entrepreneurial journey.
And that's precisely where a strong peer network, as Jim Thomas explains, becomes so incredibly valuable. They help you weather those storms. They provide perspective, remind you that setbacks are usually temporary and solvable, not, definitive failures. This reinforcement, this psychological benefit of shared struggle, it's often overlooked, but it's profoundly important for an entrepreneur's resilience, for their long-term mental well-being. Just knowing you're not alone when things get tough, that can make all the difference. It helps you stay the course when maybe others might just give up.
Okay, so with all these really clear benefits laid out, what does this actually mean for you, the listener? Jim Thomas doesn't just tell us why we need founder friends. He gives us clear, actionable steps on how to find them and build this essential network, which is great. First, he strongly suggests joining masterminds or peer groups. These, he explains, are structured environments, often small, maybe curated groups of owners, places where gym operators share ideas, challenges, best practices. They create that structured accountability we talked about and really foster accelerated growth. It's like getting a ready-made high-impact support system. Next up, attend industry events, conferences, trade shows. Jim Thomas argues these aren't just for learning about new equipment or the latest fitness trends. They're specifically designed for networking. That's a huge part of their value. He emphasizes that connecting with other owners who are on the same journey can be absolutely transformative. He even says that sometimes just one powerful connection can change the entire trajectory of your gym. Wow.
That is a powerful statement.
Third, leverage online communities. The paper points to platforms like, Facebook groups, LinkedIn circles, maybe those niche gym owner forums you see. These can provide a constant stream of conversation and connection, which is great. You can find daily motivation, practical problem-solving advice for specific challenges you're facing. And sometimes, you might even find your next collaboration partner right there in your feed, accessible from anywhere, anytime. And finally, don't overlook forming local alliances. This one's interesting. Jim Thomas suggests actively looking at the gym across town, not just as a competitor, but hey, maybe as a potential ally. He notes that often collaboration can actually beat competition, especially when you're talking about local operators who really understand your exact market dynamics. They can offer hyper-relevant advice that someone miles away just couldn't.
Yeah, this raises an important point Jim Thomas kind of implicitly addresses, doesn't it? It's about mindset. Shifting from that purely competitive view, that zero-sum game mentality, to one of collaborative growth. That can unlock significant advantages right there in your local market. Instead of seeing every other gym as just a rival, recognizing the potential for mutual benefit, for shared learning, that can be a real game changer. It helps build a stronger local fitness ecosystem for everyone involved.
So, okay, to wrap this all up, Jim Thomas's bottom line is really clear. Your gym's success doesn't just hinge on your work ethic, right? How hard you grind. It depends heavily on your ability to avoid that isolation we've been talking about. Founder friends aren't just a nice to have. They are, in his words, an essential ingredient in sustainable growth. Full stop. They give you that crucial perspective when you're maybe too close to a problem. They offer powerful encouragement when your motivation dips. And they provide that vital accountability when daily grind just gets really heavy.
That's absolutely right. Jim Thomas leaves no doubt about it. The most successful gym owners out there, they aren't lone wolves. Not at all. Instead, they're part of these thriving networks that truly fuel innovation, build resilience, and drive consistent growth. It really is a collaborative journey, not some kind of solo sprint to the finish line.
And Jim Thomas leaves us with a truly powerful, maybe even provocative question aimed directly at you, our listener. So ask yourself, who are my founder friends? If the answer is I don't have any, that's the first problem you need to fix.
Yeah. We really encourage you to reflect on that question honestly, actively seeking out these vital connections, maybe starting today. It can be the single most important step you take for your business's future. It's all about building that robust support system, one that will not only help you overcome the inevitable challenges, but also genuinely propel your growth forward.
Well said. Thank you so much for joining us for this discussion based on Jim Thomas's white paper right here on the Gym Success Podcast. We truly hope these insights help you strengthen your gym business and avoid those silent killers of isolation. Now, if you're ready to build systems that actually scale your gym, maybe improve your facility operations, or perhaps you need help turning your gym business around before it's too late, you can contact Jim Thomas directly. You can reach him at 214-629-7223 or shoot him an email at jthomas@fmconsulting.net. Also, please be sure to check out our sponsor, Gym Business Manager. They offer some of the best gym software out there. You can find them online at gymbusinessmanager.com. We invite you to explore more or deep dives, and hey, even consider submitting your own sources if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep applying these insights to your entrepreneurial journey. Until next time.